Hi, we will see the remote procedure call, commonly known as an RPC for parallel and distributed systems. What is an RPC? RPC is when a computer program causes a procedure, subroutine, or a function to execute on another place, commonly on another computer, a shared network, or a distributed network, which is coded as if it was a normal local procedure call without the programmer explicitly coding the details for the remote interaction. The programmer writes essentially the same code whether the subroutine is local to the executing program or it is remote to the executing program. To work on this remote procedural calls, we will use stubs as a dummy procedures which will be executed in between when there is a call from a client to a server. Avoid explicit message exchange between the processes is an important part of an RPC. The basic idea is to allow a process on a machine to call procedures on a remote machine. Make a remote procedure possibly look like a local one. For the user, the remote procedure call looks like a normal procedure calls, as what happens with the stubs is never coming into the picture. Now this is an information flow diagram for the remote procedure call. These are the two machines which want to execute and implement between them, which are there remotely. So what happens? The client, the caller, calls and sends the bundle of arguments to the client stub. This is a dummy procedure which is inserted over here, which will not be shown that it is a dummy over here, but dummy client stub is inserted over here. It sends the message to the packet handler, and the packet handler over the network between the two packet handlers of the remote machines sends the message to the server stub and then to the server. The processing and unbundle of arguments happen at the server stub over here because they have received the message of bundles from the machine A. The execution of those processes are done at the server side, and then there's a return procedure call which happens, and the bundle of arguments with the return value comes to the server stub, and then it is sent to the packet handler back over the network. The packet handler of machine A receives it, and that goes to the client stub where the unbundle of return values are done. That is, they are mapped with the actual variables, and then it is returned to the client caller. This is how the dummy function over here is put for the remote procedure calls to work precisely so that the return values and the arguments are mapped with each other. Now this is a diagrammatic representation of how the messages are passed. Now there's a client side called the remote procedure. It calls the remote procedure over here and it waits for the result that after mapping of values, how my server returns the value. The request is passed on to the server. It comes over here, and over here the stubs come into picture where they execute, and the call is like a local procedure call and returns the result, and the reply is sent to the calling function over here, and the actual answer comes over here from my procedure of the server, and this happens on a time scale. These are the steps. Client procedure calls the client stub. The client stub builds the message and calls the local OS. This is what it was happening over here. The client stub is built and it calls for the local OS. Client's OS sends the message to the remote OS. This is where the message request is being sent. Remote OS gives the message to the server stub. The server stub comes into here for the picture. Server stub unpacks the parameter and calls the server. Server does work, returns result to the stub, that is the local stubs of the server also comes into picture. The server stub packs it into a message and calls the local OS of the server. Server OS sends the message to the client OS. and the client OS gives the message to client stub. Stub unpacks the result and returns to the client. These are the steps which were explained in the information flow of RPC, and this is how the steps have to be listed. So it has been put over here. Now this is a more detailed diagram of the remote procedure call. Client call to the procedure. This is the client machine. This is the server machine. Client calls to the procedure. This is the client stub. You will see this is the actual implementation of how a procedure or a function is called and how it is replaced in the stub and how it works. This is a client stub where my procedure is actually stored. This is an add function or an add procedure which was called. So this is how these are the two arguments and the values which needs to be done. So client call to the procedure. This is the stub. Stub builds the message. Now what is the message? The variables which needs to be passed. So this is my client OS. Message is sent across the network. So this is the network of the remote network through which it is passed. Now from here you will see the values are flowing from here, from the client OS to the server OS, and it comes to this, and the server OS hands the message to the server stub. Now here the stub is unpacking my messages. Stub makes a local call to add, and add is implemented over here. This is how my client machine makes a call, remote procedure call to my server machine. This is how complete package of arguments are sent from client process to the server process. This is again a detailed, a little simpler example, that this is a client routine, the client stub, and how the RPC runtime is over here. There's a process kernel for both of them. Over the network routine it gets passed, and then comes my server stub and my server routine. The few diagrams are shown over here to simplify to understand how my remote procedure call actually works. So these are the steps which are listed again. The client calls a local procedure on the client stub. The client stub acts as a proxy and marshals the call and the arguments. Now what is this marshal? Marshal is basically when you try to communicate the data structure used in remote procedure call from one address space to another. That is meant by marshal. That is, when I say I'm marshalling my data or marshalling the call, it is transferring the data structure used in remote procedure call from one address space to another. The client stub send this remote system via TCP or UDP. The server stub unmarshals the call and arguments from the client. Unmarshals means it starts to read. The server stub calls the actual procedure on the stub. The server stub marshals the reply and sends it back to the client. Now, we've seen RPC. Let's see what is a lightweight RPC. Many RPCs occur between the client and the server on the same time, but we need to optimize these RPCs for the special cases which are called as lightweight RPC mechanism, or known as LRPCs. Server S exports the interface to remote procedure. The client C on same machine imports the interface. OS kernel creates data structure including an argument stack between the S and the C. What is S? S is the server and C is the client. Now it is a lightweight machine, which happens that when I am interacting the server and the client and I'm trying to send the data, it optimizes my RPCs for some special cases. Now the argument are pushed onto the stack. You will see the dummy stubs are not over here. The execution goes, the arguments are put on the stack, they're trapped in the kernel. Kernel changes the memory map of the client to the server address space. It just maps it, and the client thread executes the procedure call as an OS up call. Thread traps to kernel upon completion. Kernel changes the address space back and returns the control to client. So it is just the swapping of the address space between the client and the server, and these are known as doors in the Solaris system. We will see how does the door look like. This is one computer. We have the client and the server processes on the same. Now here is where my function is called. In the same operating system, we open the client door and changes it to the server door, and finally when here the execution happens, the registration of door happens over here, and then we return the processes back. You will see the arrows are indicating how the functions are called and how it is executed on the same machine when it switches from a kernel process from the client process to the server process, and the kernel switches between the two. These are known as doors for a lightweight RPC. Now, we've seen what is a remote procedure call. Let's see what is an asynchronous remote procedure call. A synchronous operation blocks a process till the operation completes. That is, if you see over here, I send the message to the server using the client stub, and the request is sent to the server over here. The local procedure on the server side as a server stub executes my function or the procedure, and after it is completed, it gives me a reply back. The server stub replies back, comes to the client stub, and we wait for the answer over here. This is my synchronous operation of processes in RPC. In an asynchronous operation is a non-blocking and only initiates the operation, and it works parallelly. There's nothing called a wait time over here. There's nothing called where my processes will wait. Asynchronous happens parallelly. So the client, it is waiting for the acceptance and not for the result. So immediately it happens in a parallel time. A call remote procedure over here, request is sent, and immediately the accepted request is there. It will not wait for the result, but immediately starts working on the next call. Asynchronous message passing allows more parallelism, as the continuous calls will be there. Since a process does not block, that is, it does not wait for my server stub to do the functioning, give me the result, and then go further, it can do some computation while the message is still in the transit. To receive, a process can express its interest in receiving messages on multiple ports simultaneously. So this is how my asynchronous RPC works on simultaneous messages. One message has been sent from the client side to the server side. It is still working on that particular procedure when another procedure call can come, and then it interrupts the client and call the client with one-way RPC, and it returns the result and the acknowledgement is sent. Many calls can be sent simultaneously on the asynchronous RPC. Thank you.